This is Whatever It Takes with Curt Schilling on the Breitbart Radio Network.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to Whatever It Takes. It is Tuesday, September 12th, and once again, we fly by the seat of our pants. I am in an undisclosed location in Florida, in the house of one of my favorite listeners and callers, and hanging out with Kevin and LJ, believe it or not. The world's a small place, and it's a good thing. 877-240-1776 is the call-in number as we continue with Operation Bullpen, getting ready to head into Florida for relief operations. And yesterday, you heard the show. We did the show actually from Pensacola. And again, thank you to the men and women up there who made it possible. But today we're farther down. We're somewhere in Florida, and we're continuing to head south as the destruction that this storm wrought was catastrophic in many places. So again, 877-240-1776 is the call-in number today. From a news perspective, we're still, I don't want to say dealing with because that sounds negative, but we're still enjoying the fallout from Steve Bannon's interview, 60 Minutes and Charlie Rose. I think the world got to see the Steve Bannon that I know and love in so many ways, and so many great quotes coming out of the interview that I want to see over and over and over again. One of them, one of the comments he had made about, and I believe it to be wholeheartedly true, which was. The quote was, elites have committed, quote, economic hate crime against working-class Americans. His disdain for the Bush administration and some of the elites in the Bush administration was obvious, as well as his disdain for the Obama presidency. But he told Charlie Rose that elites on Wall Street, Silicon Valley, Hollywood, and Washington, D.C., which basically is the megaphone. That's how they talk to the public and get to the public. They have committed, quote, an economic hate crime against working-class Americans by eviscerating the country's industrial base. And I don't know the eviscerating the industrial base as much as technology and progressiveness and science has moved a lot of manufacturing jobs out of the hands of human beings and into the hands of automation. But where we do have those jobs, where we do have those bodies, we ship those out of the country because that's what profit-bearing capitalism does for companies that have fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders. You make as much money as you can. You move overseas because the labor is cheaper, which is not the independent reason. The biggest reason is that this government has made this country as business unfriendly as it possibly can. The taxing, the burden, the red tape, the regulations, all of it make it literally impossible to unless you know somebody, which is exactly what we want to stop, are an impediment. They make it literally impossible for you to make it, to get on the board, to get started, to get a chance to get in the game, because part of thing that we operate on in this country is opportunity. I always tell people, yeah, the game is absolutely rigged. It always has been. But the rigging is based on effort. If you want something bad enough, you're going to go get it. You're going to find a way to get it. Whether you're black, you're white, you're Latino, you're Asian, I don't care. If you want it and it's out there, it's attainable. It doesn't matter where you were born or what circumstances you were born under. Some people are born under different circumstances and more challenging circumstances. You look at somebody like Ben Carson, who was born out of and into abject poverty and had nothing, but turned himself into, one of the most successful men in the world, one of the most skilled prenatal surgeons in the world. Now he's helping the country shape itself, or trying to anyway. But a day after 9/11, when we were talking about yesterday, you look back at the last 15, 16 years and you wonder, are we better off? I would tell you right now that part of what I think that those 10 men on those planes were trying to do, they've achieved. We are as split, as divided as we've ever been. It's a narrative the media continues to drive, and it's a narrative they're comfortable driving. They like doing it. They like the lies and the deceit because they're capitalizing and they're keying on laziness of people. They're keying on a very shallow. Well, listen, all you have to do is go to a college campus with 5 questions. Who's our first president? Who fought the Civil War? Who fought the Revolutionary War? Who's our vice president now? And whatever other one you want to ask. It's simple, and I guarantee you're looking at a 1 out of 5 on even the best campuses. This generation knows nothing about this country.